Hello, hello. Today I have the beautiful Calea Souter with me. Good morning, Calea.
Good morning, Miss Susie.
So I'm looking forward to seeing where this chat goes. Calea and I have been having a little confab before we've gone live on all sorts of things: goal setting, perimenopause, herbs, exercise, life in general. So we'll see where this conversation goes. But Calea is the most incredible coach. She is a plant-based athlete, a mom, and just the most incredibly inspiring. I think the way that her family live their life holistically is so inspiring. So I would class her as a leader in holistic living. And I've had the pleasure of knowing Calea. I was trying to work out, I think it's probably 6 years, 5 years, 6 years, that I've known Calea since I met Calea through doTERRA essential oils. And then our friendship's kind of grown from there over the years. But Calea, do you want to do a little intro to who you are, what you do? Just say hi to everyone.
I just have to say, does everyone notice the beaming ray of light coming in behind Susie? She is a beam of light right now. Look at her. Yes, thank you, Susie, for the beautiful intro. So I'm Calea Souter. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I, like Susie said, I'm a plant-based athlete, an adventure of nature. I love Christmas. I've got to say that right now because we're nearing it. I am a coach of personal power and goals. I am a daughter, a sister, a mother to 3 children, Isla, Maverick, and Swift. And I'm a lover of my husband, Kevin. I am a family girl from Canada with a Hawaiian heart, I would say.
Oh, nice. Oh, I love that. That is okay, that is one of my goals. We were chatting goals, Hawaii. I'm on it. Thank you for that little reminder.
See, that was a little whisper that you're on the right path and that Hawaii needs to happen. And I'm the founder of Elevating Life. I am nestled near Nessie and the Scottish Highlands. And I am really pumped to be here with all of you today.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So I have had the pleasure of working with Calea kind of twofold. So I've worked with Calea as she was a leader in doTERRA. And then I've also worked with Calea as a coach as well, which was an incredible experience, which I absolutely loved and felt so blessed. That was when I was mid-writing my book, I think, and it was such an incredible support at that time. But Calea, have you always worked as a holistic health coach, or what's your background?
Yeah, so I would say yes and no to that. My background, if I'm going quote unquote, what's on paper or what would you find on LinkedIn if I had a LinkedIn? So my background is physical education, health. I was an educator and I taught in the middle school system to begin with. And then I taught PE and health there. And I was also a football or soccer coach, depending where you live. Mm-hmm. And I coached at the high school. So I coached the men's team and the women's team there. And that was kind of the first job I did out of university. And then I was recruited a few years later into a company called Lululemon Athletica. Mm-hmm. And I worked in management with them. And that is when I was exposed to coaching. So part of my job description, I got to work with, at the time I worked at a retail space called Yorkdale in Toronto. And we had over 55 staff and we call them educators. And I had the opportunity to go coach them, every single one of them. So that's when I would say coaching first came into play for me. The holistic side, I have been a person that I would say my university days, my awareness grew on what health was. Mm-hmm. And understanding that I saw it when I was younger as just being active, that I'm healthy, I'm active, right? And yeah, all these things were personally for myself not going right. So I was having kidney stones happened. I was having Raynaud's from high school age. And it was just medication. There was no, why is this actually happening to me? Yeah. I'm only this age. I was having knee injuries, different things. So I started digging into it and wanting to learn more and take more courses. And I have continued to grow in it. It's a never ending journey, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say that's where the holistic side started coming into play, and more so when I became a mother and started learning about essential oils. And then that opened a door to things like Reiki, all different methods. And again, I'm still learning new ones all the time. Uh, but yeah, that's where the holistic side kind of started from.
I love it. And it certainly does grow arms and legs and is ever
Yes.
expansive. And I was laughing because I did write down the question for you, what are the benefits of using essential oils and living more holistically? But like, you could literally be here all day, all night for the rest of eternity answering that question. But maybe like what are some of the benefits or that you have experienced or clients have experienced and
From using essential oils specifically?
yeah, let's go essential oils.
So when it comes to oils, it depends. Like, just like you said with that, we could be here all day.
Yeah.
If I'm working with clients in terms of coaching clients, a lot of times it is emotional benefits. We are doing a lot of anchoring with the oils. So we are working on our mindset at the core and, allowing them to find new pathways, neural pathways, so they can redesign their paradigm and create new belief systems that will then allow them to create new feelings and actions and therefore create new results. Okay.
Yeah.
And using the essential oils to anchor those new patterns into their mind. And then, with the oils, it can always shift if they're feeling low or negative, or it can shift if, for instance, like we used them for my daughter when we first got started, and that was more for a physical thing, for supporting her skin health that we were battling for quite some time. So I use it for athletes, like for myself, with my movement to support my body moving in its best form, and also the recovery process to quiet my mind, to support my body's different systems, sleeping, my nervous system, like all the things. So yeah,
It's such an open-ended question.
Yeah.
I know I think when I used to do more work with essential oils, I use them obviously like every day for myself, and I do use them, as you mentioned, with my coaching clients as well, and in my healing. But yeah, I think a lot of people start off, as you say, in that like it's typically like a physical ailment, or I remember when I used to teach like things like verrucas or upset stomachs or headaches or these things. But then what people grow to discover is that there's this whole vibrational, spiritual,
Yes.
emotional element that is just so incredible. And I get asked a lot about essential oils and meditation and how we can use them to support that. And as you mentioned there, it's that anchoring can be so powerful to allow the brain to recognize, okay, this is the time to relax or meditate or ramp things up. It's winter here as we're recording this, and I have been diving into my cheer essential oil just to kind of help manage those emotions. And I know before we went live, we're speaking about perimenopause, and I've certainly been using my oils from a mood management point of view, and looking forward to exploring the hormonal side of that a bit more deeply as well. That's good.
Yeah. When you speak about vibration, I just think, I don't think we're educated enough on that everything is everything vibrates. It could be, I've got like a tape holder here. Everything is vibrating, even when we don't see it. And every single oil has different vibrational amounts, and that can raise our own when we apply it, when we use it. It can actually physically bring ours up. So there's such a beautiful pairing that can happen.
Yeah, I think that, and there's more and more people, I guess, becoming more aware of the vibration of plants in general. And I'm laughing inside a little bit here because last night Lily and I were watching mushrooms playing music. I don't know if you've seen that video.
I thought you were going to go in the way of the Netflix fungi video, but You went
No,
somewhere
I
else.
haven't seen that. This is like basically that someone has designed this electrical equipment that you can attach to plants, and it like will play music based on the vibration of the plant. So this guy had attached it to mushrooms, and different mushrooms had different vibrations. It was like making this really cool, as Lily was saying, spiritual music. So yeah, it's like I think people are becoming more and more aware of the vibration of things and how they feel in certain situations, or yeah, around certain things. Little mushroom deviation.
I have to check that out now. I can't not.
Yeah, I'll send you a link afterwards of mushroom music. So yeah, I mean, obviously your work is quite diverse. Like you have such a beautiful array of things that you can support people with. But what would you say is like the favorite part of your job?
Oh, Susie, you know, I would say the favorite part of my job, like even whether it's coaching, whether it is doing a retreat, whether it's working one-on-one with someone with this oils, the coaching comes into all of it at the end of the day. And I would say one of the pieces is when the light goes on. And what I mean by that, it's when the person I work with realizes that they have and have had all the talents, all the answers within them all along.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they take accountability and ownership of their life, and they're not putting it off to me like, oh, thank you, you did this. No, I did this. That to me, I love that. And seeing people then, because of that, achieve what they set out to achieve, and then even move forward beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just love seeing people tap into that potential that is, you know, that's been there all along.
Amazing. So obviously like that comes through that support, that coaching. What benefits would you say that you have, like, so working with a holistic health coach is probably different from working with a mindset specific coach, or you know, whatever other kind of coach. You know, what would you say are the benefits of working with a holistic health coach?
So a holistic health coach is going to involve the full body, mind, soul, at least how I define holistic health coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we all will define it differently. Every coach is going to define what coaching is themselves. And I think as individuals, we need to actually take the time to do that for ourselves too. What is coaching to us? But, you know, for my perspective of it and the benefits is the transformation is going to happen because it is sustainable, because it is going to be working on, you know, honoring the values that are core for you, like your guiding light that have always been there, that might not be represented to their fullest right now, but they will be coming out more. It's also bringing into play, moving away from like the hustle and bustle constant and the burnout to what aligns for not just your work, aligns for your full picture, your full design of what you are creating in your life, including things like movement, including things like nutrition, and things that are going to allow our minds to be clear, allow our body to function at its best in all aspects. Okay. Yes, there'll be an ebb and flow. At the same time, we want to make sure we have connection all the way through it with people, with ourselves, you know, that we don't lose sight of those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the holistic to me involves the full whole self.
I love that. So I know I 100% agree with that. And my book is a holistic guide to freedom from anxiety, for that very reason, because as human beings, we're so multifaceted. There's all these aspects that, you know, one can't really function efficiently without the other, you know, and you've touched on nutrition there, and mindset, and movement, and, you know, the alignment with values, and it's also individualized. And I think it is really important that we, as you say, take that holistic view, because that is where you see incredible results, right? Because it's like the whole being.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing is, we're not here just to achieve one big thing and then we're done, right?
Mhm.
Like we are, if we think of ourselves, like to even be alive, to be here right now for each of you, think of you did the hardest part to make your way and into, you know, that evolution of becoming, of that birthing process. Like you are here, you've done the hardest part. Like we are capable of so much,
Mhm.
right? And it's such a joy, it's such a journey, and it it can be whatever you want it to be. And I think a lot of what we've what we do sometimes is not actually based on what we want and what we desire. It's based on a belief that's been planted in us from a very young age, you
Mhm.
know, generational at times. So I grew up with incredible parents that they were hard workers, and hard work equals success, you know?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it didn't always equal sustainable success. It came at a cost of marriages breaking up, you know, losing connection with children. Like, and I think it's time we really sit down as individuals and figure out what we do today. Is it because of how we define it or how we've been told it needs to
Mhm.
be? And I think that's a big piece that we need to pause more often on our journey and really figure out, why are we doing what we're doing?
Mhm. Absolutely. Thank you for that. That's such a powerful, emotive thought for people to connect with and check in with. And it's a real opportunity. Like, we're really blessed to have that option, right? Like, you know, decades ago, maybe our families didn't have that options. You know, the capacity wasn't there to see beyond this kind of cultural, societal norms, I guess. And now our world is so expansive that we're like, well, actually, we can decide how we want our lives to look and how we want to show up. And yeah, that's kind of responsibility comes with that as well, you know, at taking advantage of that. Um, Amazing. So I wanted to touch on, you know, you've been running retreats in the Highlands, which I have like every time, I can't remember why, but like every day, either I was running something, or I had something coming up, and I couldn't, like, I was so desperate to come up and experience one of your retreats in the Highlands. Is this something that you're going to run again? Do you want to tell me a little bit more about that, how it come about?
Yeah, I would love to. So these retreats are called Wellness in the Wild. And for a few different reasons. I personally, like on my vision board, I have always had different retreats that were like these escapes that involved being active in some way, typically around water, because that is definitely, you know, a value of mine is bodies of water. And it involved learning or expanding knowledge and growth, whether it was around health and wellness, whether it was around spiritual practice and different things. And it also involved connection with people on a really intimate level, especially with women, and feeling like empowered. And I was seeing all these incredible events, and they were usually like these retreats of a week or 2 weeks in incredible places like Bali or
Yeah.
Australia. And there was me who was just pregnant at the time. I wasn't planning. I had a miracle baby. I wasn't really, I'm such a planner. So I wasn't at the time thinking about that. And my husband and I were already creating retreats together. We were in the midst of launching one, and I found out I was pregnant. And so all those visions I had kind of needed a pause, because I nurse, and those retreats don't allow you to bring your baby typically. And I was looking for local ones, you know, in Scotland, and I could not find any. And the way that I envisioned it at the time, like Susie, I know you just started yours as well. And then I was also looking for ones that were little like nuggets. So that if it was a nursing mom like myself, they could maybe get away for a few hours and still have that experience. And because of the world not being as open at the time, I also wanted there to be ones that were local and that could be outside, which I love anyways. And that can be challenging in Scotland because we get 4 seasons in a day.
Yeah, I found that with my retreats too. It rained the whole time.
So that's kind of where they came from. It was like a passion project, a big passion project of mine that's been in my mind for many years, like since I met Kevin before I was even married. So like 15 years ago, we've talked about doing retreats together. But this was my own one. And then what it became is I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. I don't know how it's all going to work out. I don't know the how, but I know what it's going to be. So I just got it out there and I figured it out as I was like, I put the date out there. I knew the spot. I put it out online. I knew what I was going to create. And then I was finding the people. I wanted to bring in other experts in different areas too, and have wholesome food that was local to really fuel the bodies at the same time for people to experience local, organic, real good food, and have the oils in play. And yeah, so I ran a few locally here in the Highlands, and my next ones, because of the weather now, they're going to be indoor, outdoor events. So I have 2 coming up, one on December 11th and another one late January. And they will involve a mindset piece. They will involve vision boarding. They will involve wild swimming. They will involve whole organic food and oils as well. So it just brings some of my favorite pieces together. And really it's to build a deep connection and support for women. One of the biggest takeaways for them is that they realize they're not alone. And a lot of their thoughts, like some of the last one was on self-worth we did. And there was so much truth, and the awareness that happened at that retreat was huge, because what they were thinking, every single person was thinking, and which then allowed them to realize they're not alone, allowed them to realize that they would never say those things or think those things about anybody else. So it allowed them to grow together and to create new thought patterns. And by doing things like wild swimming and using a big shift of energy like that, just like fire walks like you do, really anchors these new thoughts and transforms things. So I just love it. And I'm really looking forward to the next ones and being a bit cozier too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm laughing because I've got something on the 11th of December. I'm like, no. But yeah, maybe January. Maybe I should get it in the diary for January now, and to plan a little road trip up north. That would be incredible. They sound so good, and I think that there's definitely so much value in community and connection, as you say, that sense of acceptance and people recognizing that they're not alone, and so much power comes from that. And that's kind of, I've been working on my goals, my purpose, my vision with my coach, and that is my overarching goal, is for people to recognize that they're perfect as they are and to feel accepted regardless of that. And events like you have created there have just allowed that transformation to occur for people, which is so beautiful.
Yeah, and I love what you said there, is like, I truly believe people are doing the best with what the knowledge they have in the moment, and everyone has unique offerings. They can do things that no one else can do. And I love when people tap into those gifts and their uniqueness.
That's beautiful. Amazing. So the podcast is called Be Free. My book is called Be Free. My coaching program is called Be Free. Freedom is one of my core values, and I just love, what freedom means to me. But I wonder, what does that look like for you? What does freedom look like for you?
Freedom is actually one of my core values. And freedom for me, and when I think about this, like, whatever your values are, you've got to define them for you. It's not like look at the dictionary, what it says, and then create what it is for you. For me, freedom is the freedom to connect to nature It is the freedom to move my body and the way that I desire to move it. It is the freedom to pursue my dreams, my vision, as the freedom to own my body and grow with my body and with my soul. Is the freedom to forgive myself. Is the freedom to feel alive in every single cell of my body. That's what freedom for me means.
Thank you so much. That's so beautiful and moving. And yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. Calea has already shared with my Spirit and Soul members the most beautiful masterclass, which is about living a high vibe life. We have a whole collection on high vibe living, and as we've touched on there, kind of boosting our vibration with essential oils and all these incredible things. But for those that aren't currently members and don't have access to that, what are some ways that people listening, because I mean, you, like, as I say, are like the leader, inspirational being in high vibe living, how can people listening ensure that they live a high vibe life? And I think especially in the winter months, I know I'm finding it more challenging from the food point of view. Normally I would have like have my smoothies every morning and have loads of kind of like more colder food, and I'm like craving more the carbs and and all those kind of things. But how can people live a high vibe life?
Okay, so in a simple way, I would say do what makes you feel joy, what makes you feel strong, what makes you feel beautiful. Choose to know yourself, know what lights you up, and do way more of it. And it can be absolutely anything you want, okay? Like I mentioned earlier, for me, when my core values are being honored and I'm living them and they exist in my daily schedule, I feel that joy. I feel that high vibe.
Yeah. Woohoo! Yeah. I love how simply you've broken that down for people. And it's like the giving people permission to have fun, literally, have more fun.
Like put on a song. Like for me, I love 80s music, I love rom-coms. I love a bath. I can have a bath in the morning. It only needs to be like 5 minutes. I'm like, set me up. Like some people think you're sitting in your own filth, you gotta know you. I literally will cry watching, sometimes Dancing with the Stars that's on right now, seeing their, Strictly, that's what it's called over here. Like seeing their stories and the movement, athletes, when they push their bodies beyond their, that brings me to tears. And it also brings me so much joy seeing what humans are capable of. Listen to your body. Your body's always telling you, notice what the energy of your body through different things. Journal about it.
Amazing. Yes. Love all those, and lots of little inspiring nuggets for people to go and try as well. So as I mentioned, Calea does have a masterclass within the membership, and the membership doors are going to be closing at the end of this month until 2022. So if you want to access that masterclass and Calea's wisdom, then please do go head over there sooner rather than later, and you will have access to that. And also you're going to have access to my Dream Life vision course as well next month, and all the incredible support that is there, library of resources for everyone. Calea, if people want to connect with you after this, find out more about your offerings, your events, what you got going on. I know Calea's newsletter, for example, is incredible. You're going to want to sign up to that. But what's the best way for people to connect with you?
Yeah, so connect with me on my website. So www.elevatinglife.co.uk. You can also find me on Instagram. It's like the main platform I use. So that is at elevating life elevating _ life _ UK.
I'll pop all the links underneath the video and the show notes of the podcast as well.
Yeah, you'll find like I've got an exciting, it's been a few years since I opened up my coaching publicly, and that is happening in a few weeks. So the pre-launch is going on right now, and my Dream Catcher Collective group coaching will be kicking off very soon. So stay tuned for that.
Amazing. That sounds great. And I love the name of it as well. That's just, that's awesome. That sounds so good. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we hop off?
Yeah, I just want to leave you guys with one of my favorite quotes that I think kind of brings it all together. It's by Howard Thurman. So it's, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. That's
incredible. Thank you. Thank you. I'll share that quote in the show notes as well, so people can read that back. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your wisdom. And yeah, I hope people are feeling more high vibe as they go into their December months, and can take some of Calea's vibes on board and go.
Don't next year it. The time is now. Do not next year it.
Yes. Woo! Let's do it. Amazing. So thank you so much, Calea. I will look forward to seeing you again soon. And yeah, I look forward to maybe catching up at one of your events in the new year.
Love to have you. Bye, Susie.
Bye.